This is Daily Gains. Welcome back.
I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Dave. It's time to get it in. Let's get going. James 1:22. But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. I love this verse.
Why? Why do you love this verse, bro?
Because it's a both and verse, not an either or. It is often in the church we see either high church, which is all in your head, or low church, which is all in your heart, or all emotions and feelings. And so they're very active in the community because they want to do the work. And then high church is often, very much the place of a different kind of worship. Both of them have distinct types of worship.
Right.
And I like that it should be a both and, not an either or. That it should be both engaging with your full mind, just as you're engaging with your spirit. And so there is a recognition that, yes, be perfect. Yes, be in the word. But I do have to live it out. I do have to love the stranger and love the neighbor, the refugee and the immigrant. Like I do have to do those things unto Christ. And that, to me, is a beautiful thing because I get to work with God. I get to see him move and experience his power because, that's huge too. It's a humbling verse and at the same time a challenging verse.
I agree. And for me, it goes back to this morning's passage because he's again talking to us about this word that we've received, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be doers of the word, not hearers only. Again, if I'm right, and he's thinking back to Jesus sitting on the mountainside talking to this crowd of people, James is pointing back and saying, look, you already know what's expected of you. Are you going to, maybe this is actually what it is, okay? Maybe James is looking back on his own life as he was sitting there listening to his brother. And he's thinking to himself, who is this guy? Who does he think he is that he's going to come over to us, claiming my dad is God and tell us how we're supposed to live and tell us that he's going past the law, he's fulfilling the law when I can go down to our home and I can see the things he's built. I can see the messes he's made. I know his life. I know who he is. Who in the world is he to come and tell me that if I harbor hate in my heart, then it's as good as murder. If I look at a woman to lust after her, it's the same as committing adultery. And he walks away hardened because contrary to what he's just told us in the previous verse, he hardened himself. He didn't receive that word in meekness. And now here he is reflecting back on his own experience and saying, but you don't be like me. Don't just sit there on that mountainside and listen to it and be like, okay, that sounds good. Theoretically, that's nice. That's a very nice set of platitudes. I'm sure I could needlepoint that onto a pillow and toss that onto my couch and it'll make me a better Christian. James believed after Jesus rose from the dead. And I think James may be cautioning us and warning us and pleading with us. Don't miss it the way I did. Don't be hearers only. Don't sit there listening to another good sermon, another good lecture on moralism and ethics and leadership. You know what you need to do because he's already told you. Just go do it. Just go put it into action. And for me, as someone who has spent my entire life rocking myself to sleep in the pews, I think that's what I need to hear again this afternoon. So thank you for sharing that with me.
At least one thing about intentionally. Really, do one thing a month. Love your neighbor well for 1 month. Most of them. Wow. To the point where they have to pause and go, "You're not upset because I cut you off or I took your parking space." No, I'm loving you well. Like, show them that God love. Or do one other thing that God has put on your heart. Practice it. Be a doer, not just a hearer. Okay. Have a great day. Bye-bye.